NASCAR is about to race on a runway, a real one, on an active United States military base, with aircraft carriers parked at the corner of the racetrack. This isn't a concept, it isn't a rumor. Construction is already underway, and in less than 2 weeks, Cup Series drivers will be threading 3,400-pound stock cars through one of the most unusual and ambitious street circuits this sport has ever attempted. And the fact that almost nobody is talking about how insane this layout actually is, that's exactly why we need to break it down right now. The Qualcomm Circuit at Naval Base Coronado in San Diego is a brand new 3-4-mile street course featuring 16 turns, built temporarily on an active military installation. Race weekend runs June 19 to 21, and all 3 of NASCAR's national series will be on site. The start-finish line is named after Commander Theodore Elyson, Naval Aviator No. 1, the man credited as one of the founding figures of U.S. military aviation. That's not a corporate naming deal. That's history baked directly into the race. This is the 3rd road or street course on the 2026 Cup calendar. Tyler Reddick won at COTA earlier this year. Shane Van Gisbergen took Watkins Glen. After San Diego, Sonoma closes out the road course slate for the season. San Diego also falls during America 250 weekend, the national celebration of the country's 250th birthday. The timing is deliberate and the location is symbolic. NASCAR has been pushing aggressively into street racing over the past several years. Chicago's Grant Park circuit launched in 2023 and immediately generated the kind of wet weather chaos that put the series on national news. The concept works. Street courses create contact points, tight walls, and moments that oval racing simply cannot manufacture in the same way. But this one is different in kind, not just degree. No sanctioning body in American motorsport has ever held a race on an active military installation. The logistics alone are staggering. You're coordinating a professional racing event on a base that is simultaneously housing naval operations, aircraft, and personnel. The fact that NASCAR cleared the bureaucratic and security hurdles to make this happen is genuinely significant, and it reflects how seriously the sport is taking its relationship with the military community as part of the America 250 celebrations. From a championship picture standpoint, the road course results matter. Van Gisbergen has won 5 of the last 6 road and street course events, a stretch of dominance that is almost without precedent for a driver who doesn't run a full Cup schedule. If he converts San Diego into another victory, the conversation about what to do with him on these tracks becomes impossible to avoid. For the full-time championship contenders, a strong road course result here doesn't just add points. It sends a message heading into the second half of the season. Let's talk about the actual layout, because this circuit is unlike anything else on the NASCAR calendar, and the design choices create some very specific strategic problems for teams. The course opened with a sweeping right-hander before climbing into a downhill braking section leading to back-to-back 90-degree left-handers. That combination, elevation change into a tight technical sequence, is going to expose setup deficiencies immediately. Cars that are too loose on entry are going to get punished there every single lap. The section called Carrier Corner sits between 2 docked aircraft carriers. It's a long sweeper where drivers are approaching 5th gear. And the visual of stock cars blasting past an aircraft carrier at speed is the kind of image that ends up in network promos for the next decade. But from a racing perspective, it's a high-commitment corner that separates drivers who trust their setup from those who don't. The Coronado Chicane along the backstretch runs right along the Pacific Ocean on a narrow section of track. The description draws comparison to Sebring. Wide, technically demanding, and unforgiving if you're even slightly out of position. On a street circuit with concrete walls, there's zero margin for error. Then there's Runway Road near the north end of an active airfield where drivers are literally on the tarmac navigating through a series of bends with prolonged off-throttle sections. That back portion of the circuit is going to be a fuel and tire management nightmare. Teams that burn through tires chasing lap time early are going to give up ground late in long runs. The slow-speed chicane near the end of the lap is the obvious overtaking opportunity, and with tight walls on either side, it's also the most likely source of yellows. Whoever engineers the perfect entry speed there without overdriving it is going to make up significant time every single lap. The strategic picture here favors drivers with genuine road course feel, not just oval transplants who've learned to manage street circuits. This is a track that rewards instinct and punishes hesitation. The early fan reaction has been split in the exact way you'd expect, and that split is actually one of the most honest conversations in NASCAR right now. The traditional oval purist crowd is skeptical. 4 road or street courses in a single Cup season is a number that would have been unthinkable 10 years ago. And there's a segment of the fan base that views the continued expansion of this format as a departure from what made the sport iconic. Their frustration is legitimate, even if you disagree with the conclusion. On the other side, the audience that NASCAR is actively trying to recruit, younger fans, West Coast fans, casual sports viewers who don't have a hometown track, sees an aircraft carrier race on the Pacific Ocean and immediately wants in. That's not an accident. The sport is fishing in a different pond, and this is the lure. The military community angle adds a layer of goodwill that cuts across both camps. Whenever you think about road courses, a race honoring Naval Aviator #1 on the 4th of July weekend hits a patriotic note that's hard to argue with. Best case, San Diego delivers the kind of race that justifies every logistical headache it took to build this circuit. The setting produces iconic broadcast images, stock cars on a military runway, the Pacific Ocean as a backdrop, aircraft carriers in the corner, a legitimate battle at the front between Van Gisbergen and 1 or 2 championship contenders plays out through strategy and tire management. And the slow chicane at the end of the lap generates the contact and drama that street circuits promise. NASCAR comes out of the weekend with a race it will want on the schedule permanently and a new audience segment that actually tuned in. Worst case, the circuit's complexity creates a race that's defined by caution laps and attrition rather than wheel-to-wheel competition. The narrow sections and concrete walls turn the event into a processional interrupted by crashes. Van Gisbergen laps the field's road course, also runs for his 6th win in 7 tries. And the Sports Oval base uses the result as evidence that street courses reward one specialist rather than elevating the full field. That outcome doesn't kill the concept, but it hands ammunition to everyone who already wanted it gone. Stock cars on a naval air base runway with aircraft carriers in the background, racing on the 250th birthday of the United States of America. You genuinely cannot make that up. And whether you think it's the future of this sport or a detour from its roots, you have to admit it's unlike anything else happening in American motorsport right now. Here's what I want to know. Is NASCAR's push into street courses growing the sport, or is it slowly trading away its identity to chase an audience that may never fully commit? Drop your take below, because that debate is worth having out loud. And if you're not subscribed yet, this is the kind of story we break down every week. Not just the event, but what it actually means for the sport's future. Hit the button and stay in the loop.